This is your first 2025 market update, and I wanted to talk to you about some of the key metrics that we have in Chaffee County from the past 2 years, because this is actually relevant. Our numbers for 2024 were really similar to 2023, and in fact, sales-wise, even slightly worse, which is disappointing for a realtor, but it is what it is, and it will help you kind of know what to expect moving forward into this next year. So we don't have all of the January numbers yet, but as of right now, for 2024, our total closed single-family home sales were 354, and in 2023, they were only 346. So we were very close in that number, within just not even 10 houses. The interesting thing to note is that our median and average sales price actually still went up. Even though sales were down, prices still went up in Chaffee County, which is good for homeowners, kind of a hard pill to swallow for buyers. But the reason for that, the biggest reason for that, is economical, and that is there is a lack of homes. We have a housing shortage. That hasn't changed. So even though interest rates were super high the last 2 years, and that's all relative, I think we're kind of at a standard interest rate between 6-ish will be the new standard going forward. So that won't feel high anymore. It'll kind of become more normal. And even though we had lower sales, we still went up in price in our county. So if you look at the percent of list price received as well, we were right on par. Last year, the 2023, so year before last year, was 96.7, and 2024 was 96.8. So most homes are still receiving within 5% of their list price when they go on the market. And again, for years when home sales were really low, that is very interesting to see that they're still getting most of what they ask for when they list their home. Days on market have gotten longer though. We were at 65 average days on market for 2023, and we were at 80 average days on market for 2024, meaning I'm interpreting the data here, but what I think is that sellers are kind of holding out. They're kind of sitting back and saying, well, unless I get this, I'm not selling. And because there's still a housing shortage, the buyers are coming up with that number. And that's why our house prices still have gone up even in a down market. If you look at other key metrics for townhomes and condos, it's very similar across the board, except that we did sell more townhomes and condos, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, we have more townhomes and condos available now, and two, I think it's an affordability thing. There's a lot of people moving into the community where $500,000 is right around their max spend, and so the availability of those units combined with that being the more affordable housing options that we have has created a boost in those numbers. We had 90 something-ish of those sell in 2023 and 128 sell in 2024. And I think we'll just see that number increase again in 2025. So that's either, just a one adjoined wall unit or condominium units where the land is a shared common interest ownership. And the price on those went up quite a bit. We saw almost 7%, 6 to 7% increase in condo pricing over the last year of 2024. Oh, I should go back to that. Single family homes, we still saw a 7% increase in the median sales price. So that's good. Again, for homeowners, your equity still increased even in down real estate years in Chaffee County. And condos and townhomes in general got 98% of the list price. So again, those were a hot commodity, and I predict that we will just see more of those being popular and important moving forward into this next year of 2025 as we continue to have a housing shortage in Chaffee County, and those continue to be a more affordable, doable option. The big question for sellers is always, will my equity keep increasing? The answer is yes. I think we saw kind of the bottom level of house prices being stable or even declining a tiny bit over the last couple of years. I think it's going to see at least a slight increase again this next year. And the big question for buyers is, are prices going to come down? I don't think so. I think we are going to continue to see prices to climb in Chaffee County. And I honestly believe, based on what I'm seeing in the market, that we will have a year, maybe two, of slow rising prices where there's not these huge leaps. But I think after another year or so, because of all the development that's coming to the area, and there's still a ton of people moving here, that we are going to see another big jump in prices. So my message for buyers is get into the market now. I know interest rates are not great, but I think we all need to accept that that's kind of the new norm, and it is what it is. If you can get anywhere in the low sixes, you're doing well, and mid to high fives is going to be a really good interest rate moving forward after these last few years of 7% and even 8% interest rates. Woohoo! It was wild times, wasn't it? Is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? That seems to be a question I get pretty often. So let me tell you how to figure it out. If you want to look at stats, you can do that, and it's fairly easy to tell, but there's some other nuances to take into account. So a buyer's market in our area is usually going to be where there is more than 6 months of inventory available. So right now, for example, for single family homes, there's only about 4 months of inventory available. So it is a seller's market, which would explain in our other statistics why people are getting close to 96, 97% of list price, why the median and average sales price has still climbed, even with high interest rates, even with difficult times, economic times to sell, that type of thing. But 4 months of inventory means that there are less homes in the market than there are, buyers out looking for homes. So we have not enough homes for all the buyers that are looking, and it makes it easier for sellers to be in the driver's seat. Now, 4 months is approaching on a balanced market, meaning when you get to 6 months, it's more of a buyer's opportunity market, and the 4 months is getting close to that. So I think buyers still have a bit of say right now, specifically on inspection items or contingencies. This is a good market to make those kinds of things happen, where you ask for the seller to do things after you get under contract. You just may not be getting like $25,000 off the list price, as could happen in a really good buyer's market. So any questions about that, let me know. That's what I've got for you. If you want to talk to me about either of those sides, buying or selling, I'm here. Leave a question in the comments. Like my channel, subscribe for future videos. I will be doing more market updates this year so that you can have a pulse on what's happening in real estate in Chaffee County. I'm happy to also respond to video requests if there's something you want me to do an educational video about. Thank you.